pixel hearts are beating for you. I'm lost in this electric haze. This retro look feels shiny and new. Caught in your digital maze, it calls to me soft and true. Pixel hearts are beating for you. 8-bit.
Thank you, and welcome to What's the Move with Nathan Scott, and yes, welcome. So, in somewhere between pressure, strategy, and opportunity, there's always a move most people never see. I'm Nathan Scott, and this is What's the Move. The scenario that I'll be going over is part 2 of 2. And that scenario is that I want to, or basically the scenario is that I want to become rich without becoming an influencer, just graduating high school. Once again, the scenario is part 2 of 2, and it is basically saying I want to be rich without becoming an influencer, and this person has just graduated high school. If you go and see my part 1 video, it's a little troubling, but it's doing this part, okay? So we haven't had any trouble out of it so far, honestly. Nonetheless, let's get into it. Now, where I left off, the audio is good on that show, by the way. So if you go to part 1 and 2, you will see some lag and some latency. I apologize. I just wanted to get this show out. But the audio is good. So I want you to take some notes on it, and you will see that I went over path A and B already. This is path C. I went over a little path C as well, but I'm gonna go over it again on the beginning of this video so we can, basically, you can kind of catch up where we left off in the last video. So I went over a little bit of this already, which is fine, but I'll go over it again, okay? And this is path C. Now, path C, is the learn to code path and then build assets. That's the goal of path C. It's to learn to code and to build assets. So that is basically what path C is. And how does it work? This is not about getting a computer science degree. I want to be clear on that. There are ways you can do this, and some ways are to get a computer science degree. That's not going to be overnight. This is not overnight either. But this path is for someone who's not willing to take the path of getting a computer science degree. So I am not necessarily going over like the people who want to get that degree, I don't mind if someone hits me up about it and they want to know how to, what's the best methods, what's the best schools, what's the best programs to start out and, have a plan like that, I can create one. But for this is not particularly for that. So this is for someone who's not particularly trying to get that degree. And it's about teaching yourself to code through free or low cost resources. That's the main thing with this. And if any of you know about your free resources that are out there, that's good. If you don't, I will educate you about that. So of course you got your free resources over, and now I'm not going to go over that right now. Bear with me, okay? So you got your low cost resources over 12 to 18 months, and then you can land. Then you'll be able to you're looking forward to landing a junior developer role, okay? And then using a high income to invest in income producing assets like real estate, index fund, or eventually your own software product. Okay, this is the path. This path rejects the influencer model entirely. You build products, not personal brand. Now that's basically what an influencer is. It's just a personal brand. Can you build one? Yes. I'm not dissing the influencer way. This person personally wants to use this scenario for me to open up for those who do not want to go the influencer way. Because the influencer way, though it may be successful, it is not guaranteed. And nothing is guaranteed, but you have a low probability of a outcome, and then you have a high probability of an outcome. Influences could be a low probability of a positive outcome. Not saying no one will have that, but if everyone is going there, and if the overhead is low to get in, then the competition is extremely high. Not saying you won't stand out, because I'm essentially am an influencer, but you have to. I'm being honest. I would have a second source or third, fourth, fifth, sixth, eight, 9, 10 source of income before I jump into as a influencer, especially at high school, okay, or someone just graduated high school. But I'm not dissing influencers, because I know everyone wants to be one, and I'm not out here trying to make them look like they're not making any money, because it's not true. They make money, they do well. Now, so an influencer, I just want to be clear, this is not building a personal brand. Now, why? This builds wealth. Software engineers at major tech companies earn about $120,000 to $200,000 plus starting. Even at smaller companies, smaller companies than those, they can make six figures within 2 to 3 years, and this is common. With that income and low expenses at a young age, you can invest about $30,000 to $50,000 per year over 15 years with compound returns. That's a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Now, if you eventually build your own software or software product or SaaS business, and that's a capital SaaS, capital S business, the upside is uncapped. Now, I want to go over this, and that's a good deal. I don't want to go too fast, but yeah, that's a good deal. So, and now let's go over the wealth trajectory. I'm gonna keep going. The wealth trajectory alone is 1 to 2 years self-study, then 70 to 100,000 in a junior, 70 to 100,000 a year, preferably into a junior role. Now, 3 to 5 years, or 3 to 5 years in, you can expect, or you can look forward to making about 120,000 to 180,000 a year. In 10 years plus, with aggressive investing, millionaire status. Yes, let me say that again. Let me say that all over again, because I want you to get that. In 3 to 5 years, right? Or 3 to 5 years with 120,000 to 180,000, with 10 plus years with aggressive investing, and that's doing what I said above, right? Then you can have millionaire status faster if you build a successful product. Faster. Now, how do we carry this out? Like I said, I want you to start with I said this earlier. You'll see some of this in the other video, so I do go over some of this. But I want you to start with a free code camp. And you can literally type it off one word, free code camp, or the Odin project. Build projects. That's the main thing you want to do when you're dealing with anything to prove to a company. You want to have a knack or a skill or a specialty, and you want to get in the habit of building products, not just doing tutorials. All right? Am I making myself? Well, I don't know right here. Now, contribute to open source. That is very key. Now, when you contribute to open source, build a GitHub portfolio. Apply to companies that hire based on skill, not degrees. Many tech companies have drop degree requirements. We know why? Because they want qualified people who know what they're doing, and people who can get the job done. A lot of times these schools will teach you a lot of information, but when you go into the job, you don't know what to do. Jobs don't have time to train. They don't want to train like they used to. They are tired of it. It saves them money if someone comes in, proves to them that they know the skill, especially what they want to do, because most of the time it's going to be a particular thing. And then they advance you to more other things, right? Because they want to see your skill set. And once they see your skill set, and through the rigorous interview that they're probably going to have, they will hire you. If you follow these steps, you'll have a higher chance of being hired. Consider a coding boot camp. That'll be great as well. Coding camp with an income share agreement. Particularly, you can look for them. Look for coding camps with income sharing agreements if self-study isn't enough. The goal is the first job. After that, your career is self-propelling. That's right. Self-propelling. And that is path E. So let me make this clear. You are not limited to going to school, to a traditional school, not when it comes to coding. You're not limited because there are free courses, free ways of doing projects all over the web. They are. Don't be lazy. Look them up. Oh, say hey to E. E. Oh, that's so funny. All right. He's in his own world. But anyway, now we're going on to path D. And that's the military to business track. And let me say it again. That's the military to business owner track. I really was, let me tell you the truth, guys. I was very reluctant to putting this in here. Because I'm not making this show political. It's nothing to do with politics. I'm not telling you. As far as this show is concerned, we don't have a view. And I know when I say something about military, it can edge into that world. Especially what's going on in today's time. And I'm not going to mention it. If you don't know, look it up. If you do know, good. You can follow along. You know what I'm talking about. But in today's times, this can be a very touchy subject. But I'm keeping it strictly business, and I'm keeping it strictly for those who are already aiming at this anyway, not trying to influence someone's kid to go to the military. You're already in the military. This is you're planning. Nobody's gonna stop you. You're going. this is you want to do it, this can work for you. All right. And I call this the military to business owner track. How it works: enlist in a branch of the military in a role that teaches a marketable skill. Let me say that again. Enter any branch, but make sure you enlist in a role that teaches a marketable skill. For example, logistics, cybersecurity, aircraft maintenance, communication. Serve for 4 to 6 years. It's up to you now. I'm just saying, this is how it works. Saved for 4 to 6 years. Exit with leadership experience, security clearance, technical training, and access to a GI Bill, VA loans, and veteran business programs. What you want to do is use your VA loan to buy property with 0 down payment. Use the GI Bill to get a business. No. Use the GI Bill to get a business degree or trade certification if desired. Leverage Veterans Network to find opportunities. Why? This builds wealth. You exit at 22 to 24 years with 0 education debt, a security clearance worth 6 figures in the defense contractings worldwide, like maybe a defense contracting world, and access to capital, VA loans that civilians don't have access to. The path to real estate wealth is accelerated dramatically. Veterans-owned businesses also receive preferential treatment in government contracting. Facts. What's the wealth trajectory for this path? The wealth trajectory for this path: salaries doing service is $25,000 to $40,000 a year, then $60,000 to $100,000 plus after, plus benefits. VA loans enable property ownership years earlier than peers. Government contracting or entrepreneurship can accelerate wealth further. Now, how are you going to carry this out? 1, you want to speak to recruiters from multiple branches. Choose a role with civilian market value. Doing service, save aggressively. Expenses are low. Come on. Anybody been on the base knows what I'm talking about. My dad served. Nothing like living on the base, by the way. But it works. Plan your exit from day 1. Now I'm back at it. Plan your exit from day 1. Yep. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Also, what you want to do is use the Transition Assistant Program, TAP. Look it up. For those of you who are familiar with it, you know what I'm talking about. You want to, let me say it again. You want to use the Transition Assistant Program, TAP, to prepare for civilian life. Leverage veteran businesses, resources like the SBA's Veteran Business Outreach Center. Now, I want to go over this. Why do these paths Beat influencers' route for wealth. When it comes to income stability, for influencers, path is highly volatile, algorithm dependent. That is a fact. But when it comes to trade or business owner, predictable, reoccurring market asset ownership. That's how it works. Bear with me, very quick. Make sure I'm not overlooking anything. Now, I want to get clear on this military. There's more I want to say about it. Make sure I ain't overlooking anything about the military. This is important too. I want people to have something to show for, right? When they leave the military. That's just I'm just like that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like that. Oh, excuse me. But use the GI Bill, like I said, to get that degree. A lot of people don't take advantage of those bills. Get that degree, guys. Get that trade. If you're military, you're going to be disciplined. You're going to get it done probably before most of your peers has even started. I'm telling you. You're going to get it. And it's there for you guys. You put in the service, get the benefit. So, why this bill's well? Well, I've been over there already. But it does. And the reason why, not why it builds well, excuse me. The main thing I wanted to point out, the differences with the influencer path and the trade, business, and owner path. And I was going over it, kind of got a little lost in it. But when it comes to the influencer path, when it comes to the income stability part of it, it's highly volatile. That's what I meant to say. It's highly volatile, algorithm dependent. Algorithm dependent. Now, when it comes to also when it comes to the trade business owner path, and when we talk about income stability, it is predictable, reoccurring, and market resistant. When it comes to having asset ownership, influencers, you rent audience attention from the platform. When it comes to the business or trade, you own the business, the client list, the real estate. That's what you own. When it comes to longevity, Most influencers peak and fade. Sorry, influencers, this is a fact, you can look it up. Within 5 to 7 years. I hope y'all saving y'all money. I hope you guys are saving your money. I would advise that. Be wise with your money, guys. Don't buy everything that's you have the money. Just because the money is available for you, you know, that thing you say, oh, I can afford it, don't mean you should buy it. But that's for another show. Career span for business owners and trade spans for 30 to 40 years with increasing income. When it comes to influencers, the barrier to entry is low, which means massive, like I said before, massive competition. When it comes to trade and business, it's a medium licensing apprenticeship, which limits supply. Mean everybody not getting into it easy. You got to jump some hurdles first to get there. That's good for you. If you jump your hurdles first and others haven't jumped theirs yet, you're already in the lead. What about wealth at 40? When it comes to influencers, a tiny fraction become wealthy. But with business owners, a high percentage of business owners are millionaires by 40. What about privacy? That's something people might not think of. You want to be a brand, branding yourself. None. For influencers. Your life is the product. What about business owner? Full. They have full privacy. Nobody knows your name unless you want them to. Yeah. Now, what are the pros and cons in estimated wealth trajectory? This is important. And we're going to go off the path. For the estimated, and this is for the estimated net worth at 35. For a skilled trade and ownership, so for skilled trade and ownership, I want to go over that first. 9. The pros are non-outsourceable, high demand. Well, that's excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, the pros are non-outsourceable, high demand, clear licensing path, and business asset creation. The cons are physical work, years of apprenticeship, can be hard on the body. $500K to $2 million if business owner. $500K to $2 million if you're a business owner. That's not bad. We're talking about 35 now. What about business to business sales? Path B. The pros are no degree required, uncapped income, transferable skills, and low startup costs. The cons, high rejection. High rejection. High rejection. Might need to get E to read the next one. High rejection. Income fluctuation. I'm telling you, I want you to know the cons. I don't want to just give you the good news. I want to give you the bad news too. Know what you're up against. Know if this is what for you. Performance pressure. If you can deal with all of those, you like the pros and you can handle the cons, then by 35, 500K to 1.5 million with aggressive saving and investing. Not bad. Path C, coding and software. The pros, which is a real good pro. High starting salary. That's right. Remote work possible. I mean, you don't even have to go to work. You can just be on the beach. You're on the beach. And that's a great scenario. Or a great outcome. And can build a product that's powerful. What's the con? Constant learning requirement. That's a fact. Competitive job market. Ageism can appear later. If you like the pros and you can overcome the cons, by 35, 750K to 2 million with investing and possible equity. Nice. I think that's nice. Now we on path D. Path D. Path D is military to business. I know everyone, I just went over, that was the last one I went through. The pros of military to business is paid training, zero education debt, VA benefits, and security clearance. The cons, you need to really take this serious. Look at your cons. 4 to 6 years commitment, potential deployment, and a rigid hierarchy. It is. The military is known for their rigid hierarchy. If you can manage it, by 35, 300K to 1 million, accelerated by VA loans for real estate. Now, I want to go over this because of the fact this person told me they just graduated high school. Really, I'm serious. And this is for anyone that's graduated high school. It may be for anyone that's about 18, 17, 18, 19 years old. 20, might be anybody. Here are the common points of failure at 18. At 18, lifestyle inflation. Once income rise, spending rises faster. And I want you guys to know that. Wealth is the gap between earning and spending. Invested constantly or consistent. Yeah, I hope y'all got that. Let me say it one more time for you. This is a failure at 18. Lifestyle inflation. Once income rises, spending rises faster. Wealth is the gap between earning and spending. Invested, consistent. Impatient wealth takes and that's impatient if you're impatient. Now, wealth takes 15 to 20 years of disciplined execution. Y'all have to know that. Nobody gonna tell you that. They're gonna say, hey, just invest money. And you're gonna say, how much money? They're gonna tell you how much money. They're not gonna tell you for how long. Some people will. And then when you realize for how long, that's when it's like, oh no, I want money right now. I know I was 18, I was 17, I was 19. I wanted money right now. Not right now, but right now. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But you got to be realistic. The influencer path promises about 2 to 3 years, which is why most of you guys are going that route. And this is why it's mostly a mirage. It's not learning a business and it's not learning a skill. But being a great electrician makes you a good living. Let's go for it. Let's go over it. Being a good electrician makes you a good living. Owning an electrical contracting business makes you wealthy. The gap is business. The gap is business, marketing, sales, hiring, and finances. Now, getting comfortable as an employee. The real wealth comes from ownership. Owning a business, owning real estate, owning assets. That's where the real wealth comes from. Now, at 18, you have the one thing 40-year-olds don't have, and that's time. Frame your career as a deliberate wealth building project, not just a job. Not just a job. You guys say, I'm going to be a millionaire. You guys say this to yourself, and I'm for real. It's okay. And don't think you lame. Don't think you. Don't think it. Don't think. And you don't gotta do it around your friends if you think somebody gonna judge you. But you have to say it. I'm going to be a millionaire by 35, and here's exactly how. That's how you gotta do it. You take what I'm giving you, you go and take your notes, you do exactly what I say. If you believe in yourself. Believe in yourself anyway. If you don't, you should. You got the mind and ability and the power to be whatever you meant to be. And then whatever you want to be. This is a fact. That's the beauty of just graduating high school. You got your future, right? I mean, it's a beautiful future. And you just got to make it there. Now, I'm going to give you guys a better strategy on top of that. And the better strategy is you stack the paths that I went over. Work and trade during the day. Man, this is when if you're a hustler, if you're a grinder, if you got the grit and the muscle and the go and the get. Work in a trade during the day. Learn the code at night. That's what you do. Or do a business-to-business sales and investment commission into real estate. What about that? Do a business sale and invest commissions into real estate. Multiple skills compound. I mean, you know, and it's a book. I'm going to go over a few books. But I'm gonna go over this book first because when I see the word compound, it's one of my books that I've read over and many times. This is by a guy by the name of Darren Hardy. He had a magazine. I don't know if he currently does. He had a magazine called Success Magazine, And the name of that book is called The Compound Effect. Some people may know the book. It's a good book. And it basically shows you how things are not really built overnight, but really things are built by compounding them over and over again by many years. So that's a book I would recommend people read. Now, something else I want you to take under consideration is to seek out a mentor who have already done what you want to do. And don't be shocked. And I want you to believe me. Many successful business owners are surprisingly willing to help young people like yourselves who demonstrate a genuine hunger for work and work ethics. You don't need a degree to ask someone to coffee, a donut, dinner, lunch, brunch. It's nothing. Coffee shops everywhere. Get out of here. Now, here are the scaled up possibilities. Every path leads to business ownership eventually. The technician who learns the business side can scale. The salesperson who builds a book of businesses can start an agency. The coder who builds a project or a product can sell it. Ownership is the goal. The job is the training ground. As a young person, simply showing up on time and communicating clearly and being reliable will put you in the top 10% of your peers immediately. Wanna know why? Because a lot of them lazy. They're sorry. I'm just going to say it. Not saying that they can't be better and bigger and greater, but at the current time, they're not using their best abilities. And if you do that, if you just show up, be on time, be reliable, you're in it. It's a saying that a lot of us business owners say. You want to know what the saying is? Good workers are hard to find. And when we find one, oh, we don't want to let them go. No. We throw money at them. We throw money at them. Because they're hard to find. And so these are the soft skills and are rare and valuable. And they cost you nothing. Now, I did say I was going to go over some books, and I am. I went over one already, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Another book I want to go over is The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danker. Great book. Now, the foundation study of how most millionaires, that's what the book is about. There's a foundation study of how most millionaires actually live. Now, here's the spoiler. They own a boring business, drive used cars, not making this up, drive used cars and live below their means. Second book, So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport, one of my favorites. The anti-passion thesis, skills are more valuable than passion. Build rare and valuable skills and careers, and wealth follows. Third book, this fourth. Yeah, that was the third book. I told you there was something about that hard over here. Fourth book is The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. Good book. This book is really more about the investing philosophy that turns high income into lasting wealth through index funds and time. Good book. Now, the principle here is compounding. That's the principle here. If you're looking at the theme of this show, especially in high school, you will see a lot of information about compound. That's really the theme of this show. It's not a get rich quick show. The theme is compound. Starting at 18. $500 invested monthly at 8%. Average return becomes $1 million at the age of 53. Let me say that for you youngins again. I don't mean to call you youngins, but I just have to say it because I want you to know that I'm giving you something here, and you remember it. You can tell it to your mama and your daddy. Starting at 18, $500 invested monthly at 8% average returns becomes $1 million by the age of 53. Starting at 30, the same monthly investment reaches $1 million at 62. See the difference, guys? You reach one is a millionaire by 53, the other is a millionaire by 62. Don't wait to start, get going now. Those 12 years ahead are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you have multiple ones going, you do the math. Now here's a real world example for you. The largest electrical contractor in many United States cities was started by someone who began as an apprentice at 18. The owner of a commercial cleaning company with 200 employees, yeah, many of them started with a mop and a bucket. These stories are not common at all, well documented. Many of you may have heard a lot of them, and they don't just make TikTok feeds. They don't just make Instagram reels or YouTube reels. This is real stuff. Don't just sit there and watch this stuff knowing it's going on and you're not taking no part of it, not even seeing if it's possible. Let me see if that works. Concepts. I want you to think about intangible assets accumulation. Think like that. My job is to have intangible assets accumulate skills, relationships, reputation. You want this and knowledge are assets that nobody can take from you. And they compound just like money, or better. Don't take these things for granted. They are powerful, valuable, and people recognize them. At 18, investing in these intangible assets is the highest return on your decision available. Now, what if you don't know which path to choose? I want to go over that too. I want to help you. What if you don't know which path to choose? Which is a good question. How do I pick it? Well, what's the fastest path to the first $100,000? Is there a step-by-step for an 18-year-old? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, I want to go over and see if we can get to some sense. So, the first question, what is the fastest path to the first 100,000? I know you want to know that. And I'm going to give you a step-by-step plan that is realistic, action, and rooted in principles that actually work, not just a theory. Rooted like a sequoia. It's rooted, guys. The first 100K. I hope you're taking notes. The first 100K I'm giving it to you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Free of charge. Somebody gonna make you pay for this somewhere. You'll see. Free of charge. It's for you. Step-by-step plan. I'm just making sure everything's still good with my program. Step-by-step plan. The first 100K. This is a 3-phase plan. Yes, it is. And now, with a clear timeline and action, the math is supported by financial planning principles found across multiple sources. Time and consistent investing are the real wealth builders, not massive starting capital. No. Phase 1, foundation. Month 1 to 6. 1 to 6 months. Step 1, get any full-time job immediately. This is for any high school graduate here. Listen to me. Get any. I mean it, guys. Any full-time job immediately. All high school graduates. Listen to me. What? My mama didn't tell me that. My dad didn't tell me this. This is the step to your first 100K. Did they tell you that? If they did, then don't follow my step. If they got a path for you already, ignore me. This is not for you. But if they don't, get any full-time job immediately. That's step 1. Not your dream job. I mean, it'd be nice. Whoopie-doo, you hit the jackpot. That's like hitting the lottery. A job, no, but I'm talking about a job with a steady income. At 18, living at home or with a roommate, your expenses are minimal. Stay at home is smart. Oh, I want to do what I want. Oh, I want to have my girl over. I want to have my boy over. My boyfriend, I want to have my girlfriend over. My boyfriend over. Oh, I want to go where I want. I want to have people over and party. I want to do what I want. You stay with your mom and dad, this plan becomes clear and easier to do. Now, a full-time job at even $15 an hour brings in roughly about $2,400 a month. I'm sure you guys can use that in your pocket. The goal is income velocity. Let me say it again for you guys. The goal is not income, but income velocity. Money coming in fast so you can deploy it. This is money going to work for you. You're shooting this money to the stars. You're going off to war. You're getting deployed, buddy. That's what you want your money to do at 18. Deploy it. Step 2. Open a high-yielding savings account. Separate it. Make sure it's separated from your checking account as well. This becomes your stacking account. This becomes your stacking account where the 100K will accumulate before you invest it. This is that account. This is that account. If your employer offers you direct deposit splits, send a fixed percentage straight here to this account. If not, set an automatic set up automatic transfers the day after payday. Okay? Step 3. Hope y'all getting this. Build a starter emergency fund of $1,000 before any aggressive investing. Let me say that one more time. Build a starter emergency fund of $1,000 before any aggressive investment. That means you got that first. That's one of your first things you got. You need that. You need that. And that's enough for about an 18, 19-year-old. Trust me. Alright? And this is before any aggressive investment. And have a small buffer. Listen to this part. Have a small buffer so a flat tire or a phone repair doesn't derail this entire plan. And that's for the ones that might be out there on their own without their mom and daddy helping them. I want to show them on my own. Mom and dad's like, let me help you. I want to be alone. Let me help you. I want to be alone. Man, I'll be like, help me. Help me. Please help me. So, yeah. Step 4. Learn a high income skill in your off hours. Don't play. Let your buddies play. Let them go out and waste your time. Because after we done with all this I'm telling you to do, when you done with all this I'm telling you to do, they're going to be kissing your butt to be your friend even more because you're going to have so much money. You'll see. You know they do that. You know they do that. You've been to school. You all know how people act when you got money. They going to act like that. Learn a high income skill in your off hours, not college. Self-directed learning. The highest paying side hustle for young people without degrees includes specialized copyright, up to $130,000 a year potential, freelance web app development, up to 104,000 years. I'm telling 4,000 years. What? $104,000 a year. And AI-related skills like prompt engineering. Some of you guys are probably learning this. Spend 10 hours a week learning one of these 3. Just learn them. Free resources all on YouTube, free code camp. I talked about this before. And you got Coursera, audits, or paid courses only if instructed. The goal is within 6 months, you can start freelancing clients. Money in your hand. All right. Phase 2. The acceleration. All this important. Months. This is from month 7 to 24. Yeah, we just getting to 2 years. Step 5. Start freelancing with your new skill. Charge below market initially to build the portfolio. That's the goal. You always charge below market. Don't sit there be trying to charge above market. You just getting in the market and these guys already stepped. No, you go below them. Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. That's just the way it go. That's just the way it go. I gotta see something real quick. And reinvest every dollar earned into your high yielding or your high yield savings account. The side hustle income is your accelerating engine. And a technical support specialist earns around $59,000, $946,000 without a degree. And with freelance work layered on top, you can push your total income, monthly income, to $4,000 to $5,000 plus. I gotta see some guys because I've been having an automatic stop on these lives. Let's see what you do with that. Still got. Let's see in a minute. I hate to do y'all like this, but yeah, it's been stopping on me. And you'll see, I'm trying to get that worked out. I've been having a tough time. But anyway. Okay. Okay.